Hi everyone, I am Jacquette Barnes and I am the Virginia Regional Manager with ESS. We are a partner to Roanoke City Public Schools where we put your substitute teachers in all the classrooms across the city. And today I'm going to be reading to you Freedom on the Menu by Carole Boston Weatherford and paintings by Jerome Lagarrigue. And I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly. So let's get started. Once I watched a girl swivel a stool as she spooned a banana split. In the empty seat beside her was a purse, almost exactly like mine. "Can I have a banana split?" I begged Mama. "Not here, Connie," said Mama. "I'll fix you one at home." "Won't be the same," I grumbled. All over town, signs told Mama and me where we could and couldn't go. Signs on water fountains, swimming pools, movie theaters, even bathrooms. Everybody I knew obeyed the signs, except my great Aunt Gertie from New York. Once, when she visited us, she drank from a whites-only fountain and said real loud, "I've never heard of colored water." "Have you, Connie?" Then she lifted me up so I could take a sip. I looked up from the fountain. "Y'all know better than that," a man scolded. I started to say, "Sorry, mister," but Aunt Gertie just huffed. "I'm too old for silly rules." It was a real hot day, but the man walked away without taking a sip. There weren't any signs up in the 5 and dime, but we still knew how it was. Most people didn't expect change anytime soon. But my daddy thought different. "Dr. King's coming to town," he told us one morning. "Who's sick?" I asked. "He's not that kind of doctor, Connie." Daddy laughed. "He's a minister who's working to make things better," said Daddy. "So we can go anywhere we please," said Mama. "Like the lunch counter?" I asked. "Yep," said Daddy, "and other places too." Later that week, our whole family went to hear Dr. King preach at the college chapel. I didn't really understand all of his speech, but I liked his booming voice. It sounded as if he believed God was on our side. Every few minutes, Mama said amen, and when Dr. King sat down, everyone stood and clapped for a long time. Soon after that, my brother and sister joined the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. Everyone called it the NAACP. They let me tag along as they went door to door helping people sign up to vote. "I've never voted in my life," said a white lady leaning on a cane. "Will I get to vote for the president?" "Yes, ma'am," I said. "My brother wants to be president when he's all the way grown." "Tell him he's got my vote," she chuckled. "And hold on to those big dreams," she said, handing me her voter registration form. "Yes, ma'am, I'll tell him," I promised, thinking about my own dreams too. "Times are changing," she said, waving as I left. Then one day, Mama and I went shopping downtown. We stopped at the snack bar, just like always. I tugged at Mama's sleeve. "Look over at the lunch counter. We know those boys." There sat 4 of my brother's friends from A&T College. "Do they know they're in the wrong place?" I whispered. "Some rules have to be broken," Mama whispered back. I heard one of them order, "Coffee and a donut, please." "I'm sorry, we can't serve your kind," said the blonde-haired waitress, wringing her hands. The boys didn't budge. "Don't y'all understand English?" a kitchen worker asked. "Go on over to the snack bar," she hissed. "Stop making trouble here." The manager tapped his foot and jutted his chin. "They can sit there forever for all I care," he said, storming out of the store. An old white lady came up to the boys. "I'm so proud of you," she said, clear as a bell, so everyone could hear. "I wish someone had done this sooner." The waitress kept wiping and re-wiping the counter and refilling salt and pepper shakers, sugar pourers, and napkin holders. Suddenly, the manager came back with a tall policeman. "Let's go, Connie," said Mama. The manager shooed us right out of the store, then put a close sign in the window. I couldn't wait to tell my brother. "Why'd your friends do that?" I asked. "If we can spend money at a store," said brother, "it's only fair that we should be able to eat at the store's lunch counter." I guess so, I said. Think it'll work? Sometimes it's important just to try, said Daddy, rubbing his chin. The next day, Daddy showed me the newspaper. The headline said, "Negro students stand up sitting down." They sat 4 hours, said Daddy, peering over the newspaper. I'd be hungry to wait that long, I said. Connie, they really didn't want food, said Daddy. They wanted to be allowed to get it, same as if they were white, to be treated fairly. By Friday, we heard on the news how hundreds more had joined the sit-ins. The protests are growing, I told Daddy. I'm joining the sit-ins, my brother said, bursting into the room. And I'm going to picket downtown, said Sister, tomorrow. I want to go, I said. I'm plenty big enough to hold a sign, and I know I can sit. It's good that you want to help, said Daddy, but Connie, you're still too young for these things. I never get to do anything important, I pouted. You can help us make picket signs, said Sister. That's very important. The next morning, I handed Sister my little flag for her to carry. We'll tell you everything when we get home, Brother promised. Turns out I saw protests on TV. Hundreds of people walked up and down the sidewalks in front of stores, restaurants, and movie theaters. I saw my own sister carrying a picket sign. And there was the back of Brother's head at the lunch counter, my own brother. I'm just so proud of them, said Daddy. Me too, I said. I just pray there's no trouble, Mama fretted. After a while, I watched the news on TV almost as much as Mama and Daddy. One night I saw a reporter on the sit-ins. That doesn't look like downtown, I said. Connie, the sit-ins have spread all over the South, said Daddy. Just then the phone rang. I answered it. Daddy, it's Sister. She's got arrested at the lunch counter. She's in jail. Sister, who's always got A's in school, who hardly ever got in trouble, who was what Mama called the mole stubborn. Daddy raced to the police station, but Sister wouldn't let him get her out of jail. He told me how the students kept chanting, jail, not bail, jail, not bail. We can't just leave Sister here with the bad guys, I pleaded. She's made up her mind, Connie, said Mama, wiping a tear. She wants to stay with the other students. In a few days, Sister came home. Promise me you'll stop picketing, I begged. I can't do that, she begged, hugging me tight. Now, instead of shopping downtown, we had to order from the Sears catalog. Mama and I leafed through the big, thick catalog together, and she even let me help pick things out, but we both knew it wasn't the same. How long before the sit-ins are over, Mama? I asked. Till folks get what they want, said Mama. That summer, Mama, Daddy, and I finally went downtown. When we passed Woolworth's, I heard someone shout, "They're serving them." Daddy stopped so fast that the brakes screeched and Mama and I jolted forward. We parked and ran to the lunch counter. There sat the woman who worked in the restaurant's kitchen. They were all dressed up fancy and eating egg salad. I can't even stand the smell of egg salad, but I stood and watched them eat every bite. Looks pretty good, I said. Daddy and I shared big grins. The next day, Brother, Sister, and I made a special trip downtown. Brother wore a suit and a tie. We girls wore hats and white gloves. At the lunch counter, I climbed up on a stool next to them. We'll have 3 hot dogs, 3 French fries, 2 coffees, 1 Coke, and 1 banana split, please. I told that blonde-haired waitress. Sister and Brother sipped coffee. I twisted on my stool while we waited for our meals. Our food soon arrived. As I ate, the waitress plopped an extra cherry on a mound of whipped cream. She still looked nervous, but she smiled at me. It was the best banana split I ever had. Well, that concludes the end of the book. At this time, I would like to say this was a very enjoyable read. The Greensboro sit-ins took place in North Carolina, a place where I actually was born and attended school for a few years as a child. So it really resonated with me, and I was happy to be able to present this book to you all. Happy Read Across America Day from ESS and Roanoke City Public Schools.